and I don't want to be in this world. Like, I don't want to see people. So that's where I'm just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? What the fuck is up, y'all? It's me.
I wanted to film, but my phone's almost dead, and I don't own a camera, and I was like, what's wrong with a webcam? I love a webcam moment, but I was like, I don't know where I should sit, and then I was gonna sit here in this chair, but she's sitting there, and I don't want to move her. Look at her. She's being so cute. I've been feeling very called to make a YouTube video recently. And when I say recently, like, this is kind of like an ongoing calling, if you will. I've had these callings for quite some time. I've made YouTube videos in middle school and in high school. I loved music videos, like music video YouTube, circa like 2012. Like, you know what I'm talking about if you were around. Like, Brittany, I think her name's Brittany Taylor, like Ricky Dillon, is that what his name is? That sounds kind of wrong for some reason. But I don't know. And like, I feel like Gen X Pen, like, you know the people I'm talking about, and that, I loved that. And so I would make some of my own YouTube videos too sometimes. That was fun for me, except for when people in my school found my videos and would like talk about it and like watch it in front of me, and that made me so uncomfortable. And so like naturally, like, I just like stopped doing it, because like why would middle school, I don't know, like, that was just how things happened for me. I tried to again, like, one winter break, I just had a lot of free time, and I like made a vlog, and I was like, this was so much fun. I felt great about it, and then I went back to school and didn't have time to do anything. Well, guess what? Now I'm not in school, and I don't do anything else with my life because I quit my job. I'm unemployed. I'm not a student anymore. I might be soon. I'm trying to make that decision right now, which is kind of what this video is all about. We're in the middle of a pandemic. I'm running out of the money that school gave me from sending me home last year. And I don't want to be in this world. Like, I don't want to see people because we're in the middle of a pandemic. So that's where I'm just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Because I don't really want to go to school online. Part of the reason why I'm not even in school anymore is because I was like, fuck this online shit, because it was really hard for me to do in the middle of a pandemic, like when they sent us home and sent us online last school year. But even before the pandemic, I was literally already like, I was basically like manifesting what happened, like, and this is kind of what I wanted to do. This was my plan before this happened anyways, was that I was not going to go back to school this semester. Basically, I went to school for acting my freshman year of college. I hated it. It was a piece of shit experience. I mean, it wasn't the worst. I just was like, this is so toxic. I was like, I'm not giving these people another, like, 20 grand of my future. Like, because I'm taking out these loans. I can't afford this, like, out of my pocket. No. But, excuse me, taking out, like, almost 20 grand for a school year, for one school year, hey, kitty cat, like, that's a no from me. Like, I got there and I just quickly realized, I was like, this is not worth my time and money, because I didn't really feel like I was even, like, learning that much about, like, I was like, I don't think this is gonna get me, like, any sort of job. And I was like, I don't even know if I want to, like, if this is what, like, the industry is, then count me out, because this shit is toxic. But I was also like, so anyways, I hated that school, and I was like, I feel like if I went into something else, I could help change the industry a little bit. I guess, I don't know, I just was, like, not about acting anymore. So I transferred to another school. I went to UArts in Philadelphia before I was at Shenandoah Conservatory in Winchester, Virginia, which is where I'm living now, again, even though I left this weird town a year, or how long ago was that? Like, a year and a half ago? Being like, fuck this place, I'm never coming back. Little did I know, I'm living here again. Anyways, it's really funny how things work out. So I went to school in Philly for directing, playwriting, production. It's like a major, like a 3 thing. Yeah, ooh, hey, armpit. Sorry, every time I wear a tank top, and then I'm like, I kind of forget about it, but like I'm on camera, so I'm like, whoa, I have armpit hair. And like, I'm sure like my roommates and like all my friends, like they're like, yeah, it's just her. But like for me, I like forget every time because I see it and I'm like, oh, hey. Anyways. What was I going on? Oh yeah, so I get there. I liked it. I was living on my own, which is what I was like kind of feeling like I really needed. I was like, I need solitude. Which I don't know why I felt like I hadn't gotten enough of already. Like, it's because I feel like in my high school years, I did have quite a bit of solitude. Like, I was living, like, I would live at like in my mom and I's apartment just like by myself sometimes because she would spend the night at her boyfriend's. And looking back on it, I'm kind of like, should I have been spending that much time alone? But I did kind of like it sometimes because it was like, you know, I could like throw parties and have friends over, not parties, but you know, like kickbacks. I don't know why I'm even talking about this anymore, but yeah, I was living a very different life than I had lived before, I guess, in the sense that I was living in Center City, Philadelphia, which I had never lived in or even very often like been to many cities before. Like I'd never really been a city girl, but city girl. I don't even know. I'm also just very ADHD, which I need to get treated, and that's something that I discovered when we went online. Is like, wow, you are severely like, or not. I don't know if I'd say severely, but like maybe I would. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Anyways, so I got to feel. No. Penny really wants to be pet right now. So yeah, living by myself was a really big step for me, and like living in a place where I knew nobody. That was just like very, very new for me. I don't really know how to, like, it just changed me a lot, and I saw things at a very different like perspective, and or I don't even want to say I saw things from a different perspective, but I don't know, I guess I just felt like I was really like growing up. I was also finally with like a pretty good counselor, and that was really helpful for me. I was in a really like I don't know, I was in a pretty good place my first semester, but what happened again after winter break was the same thing that happened the year before, which was just like, oh, like I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of these classes, and I can't help but like feel like I'm not like I just felt like I was wasting my time and money like sitting in those classes. And not to say that like I knew it all already, but I just felt like you really didn't need, like, this degree was just so unnecessary, and so much of the school was just like kind of like a fraud and just like part of this like capitalist scheme, and like art school is kind of like a scam, and especially like that one, like I was just feeling so much like grossness towards like the idea of school and like what universities have become, and like for how much money it is and for what you're getting from these classroom experiences is honestly just like traumatic. Like, I mean, and sometimes I'm like, maybe it's not so much traumatic as it is like hardening you, because that's what I feel like a lot of the like adults and professors kind of see it as, is they're like, oh, we need to like really toughen you out for like the industry, but it just seems toxic. And like I thought that it would just be an acting, but then I just saw it again when I got to the other school, and I didn't really like a lot of my peers. Like, I liked some of them, but as a transfer student, I had such a hard time like really making many friends and feeling like I fit in there, and especially in the theater school, in both theater school, like I think it's just a theater school thing, and now I feel like I was so blind to it in high school when I was kind of like one of those theater kids, like it's like fuck theater kids, but I'm also like, well, I do enjoy theater. Like I saw a meme that like said that was like that, I don't know, but yeah, it was something like, I saw that on the internet the other day, something along those lines, and it just resonated, okay? But anyways, I just was getting really fed up with it, and was like, I don't know if I want to be a part of this community anymore, and I feel like they're like they're just stealing our money when we could be like the students really are, and like could just run things themselves if like we were given like the funds and like the resources, but we aren't. And you're seeing that not just in schools, but you see that it's happening the same way like in our like government and in our like in multiple different societies, just like multiple, I don't know what I'm like trying, just not only are we seeing that kind of thing happening in smaller institutions like schools and within our like community resources, is that the right word? I don't know, but you know, just like funding for education is one so important, and I just think that it has gotten so twisted and to a point where I'm like, I don't want anything involved in this anymore, which is why I was like, fuck this, I'm leaving. And especially when COVID happened, I was just like, yeah, like I'm not doing this right now, and so I'm taking this semester off, and we're nearing the end of the year, and like another semester is going to start, and if I don't re-enroll in classes, then like I'm going to probably have to start paying back my loans, which I'm not financially ready for, and like how am I supposed to be right now? And I can probably get some kind of relief if I like look into it, and I need to. But I just get so angry at how like just how slimy and grimy and like musty the system is right now. And sometimes I hate talking about it because I'm like, I sound so cliche being like, oh, the system and like our societies are messed up, but it's very like true, and like I feel like that's kind of how a lot of like cliches are. It's like, oh, that's, you know, you're like judging somebody for, okay, the sun's starting to go down and I'm losing light, but you know, you're judging this person for like saying something that I guess like a lot of people like relate to. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but I guess now I'm just at this point where I have to make a decision of what to do next, and I don't really want to stick to doing the same thing that I've been doing for the past 6 or 7 years of my life, because, and what I'm talking about is, like, doing, like, theater, like, Broadway, like, performing arts, like, I like performing arts, but I'm just saying that, like, this kind of model in media that medium of, like, theater that I've been kind of, like, attached to for the past 6 years of my life of, like live performing, like, theater, I'm just, like, done with it, and so I'm trying to find these new avenues to go down. It's like that part is, like, dead anyway, so it's like, why am I gonna be like subscribing to this anymore? You know what I mean? Oh my god, a child. Wow. I didn't know there was a child in that house. It's a grandchild, so that's why she's not here all the time, but I was like, wow, like, I just wasn't expecting to see her. Anyways. Oh! The thing is, I have so many different interests and, like, things that I want to do. And yes, I am, like, depressed and anxious, and, like, I feel like with depression, it's kind of like you lose interest in your, like, interest. But it's like it's kind of like I'm losing interest in theater, and I'm like, oh, I'm depressed, but I guess on the other side of it, of, like, this, like, current depression that I'm going through, because I definitely go through phases in my depression, and this is a conversation for my therapist, I know, but I go through but it's okay to talk about it, because these are real things, and I think it's a good thing to relate to other people about these things, and, like, especially being, like, so, what's the word, neurodivergent, I should know that word, but for some reason, like, I'm, like, thinking about it in my head, and it, like, looks different, and I'm like, which way is the pronunciation? I don't know. Anyways, with mental illnesses, I'll just say that, it's like, I mean, we know, like, there's this stigma around it, so it's just, like, I don't know, I just feel like there should be more open conversation about mental illnesses, and, like, while I don't want to just be on YouTube putting all my issues on here and, like, you know, treating it like it's therapy when it's definitely not a form of therapy, but, like, I think it's okay to talk about certain things with other people, because that's kind of what, like, YouTube is, like, creating these, you know, like, you can create different communities, and that's just something that I've personally been searching for, is, like, a strong community. I feel like I really had that in high school with my classmates, like, my theater classmates. We were just such a strong and loving group, and I really, like, I knew when I was leaving high school, like, I was so sad and anxious to, like, leave that, because I thought that I would never find it again, and I was partially right, like, I haven't fully found that again, and I really miss it. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I have friends, and I have, like, my community, and, like, my family and my friends, but I don't feel like I have, like, one, like, strong network of people that I'm, like, working with, and that just is, like, a part that feels so, like, gone, and, like, I just really miss that, and I think that that's okay to miss that, and especially during, like, COVID, it can feel like that, and it got even more so, like, even stronger, when I left school and wasn't doing anything, and it's been nice to, like, kind of, like, hermit and, like, hide, but, like, I don't ever, because I don't have that community, I almost have this, like, fear of, like, coming out and, like, communicating and contacting other people. Like, I don't know why I'm so afraid to, like, post things on my social media, because I'm like, I don't know if I want to talk to people. Like, I don't want to, like, put myself out there for, like, people to, like, know what I'm doing, and, like, I don't know, I just really felt that, like, this year, like, I just haven't been posting much. I got into Instagram, and I thought that I wanted to post more, and, like, I would, like, want to, because I didn't even feel that comfortable posting previous to, like, changing my Instagram, and I regret doing that now, because now I just, like, I feel like I've lost a lot of connections, and I kind of did that purposefully, and I was, like, really mad at people, and it was just weird, and now I'm going on this whole other thing, but it's just, like, sometimes I get very confused about if this is, like, a normal, like, coming of age, like, or, like, growing up feeling, or if it's, like, more specific to, like, this generation, because I think a lot of us don't want to submit to the way that things are going, and things that, like, a lot of us are just not for the way that things are currently working. We don't like this, we don't understand this, like, just this whole structure and system that we have set up with, like, working in school, and outrageous, like, housing, and, like, we're just kind of, like, let's change, like, I don't even know, it's just, do you get me, Penny? Do you get what I'm saying? Anyways, I think that it's not a bad thing to have multiple interests, and that's, okay, I just found this new, I feel like I'm, like, in a forest, and I just, like, found this cool new, like, trail, or, like, the right trail to, like, go down. I have a lot of interest, and I can easily, this is me personally, I have lots of different interests. I can sway on my feelings and decisions and things, how I feel about things very easily. I'm not very much like a one, like, thing. I am, like, very bisexual, like, if you know what I mean. And bisexual, literally, yes, I am bisexual, as in, like, I'm attracted to, like, multiple genders. But also in the way of, like, I don't always feel, like, very much, like, one way or another about something. Like, I very often find myself, like, teetering in the middle about a lot of different things. And I think a lot of other people in this, I don't know, maybe not, but I see this weird correlation between, like, monogamy in like, in our society, and how, like, we are, like, westernized, like, culture is very monogamous in the way that, like, we have to do things in one way. Like, you have to be, like, that you don't have many other options of what you can do. Like, you have to do and be attached to, like, one thing, you know? You have to, like, decide very early on what you're gonna do, and, like, specifically for a career. It's also tied to capitalism. We are in, like, a monogamous relationship with capitalism, where, like, a marriage, where you're, like, tied into it, and if you don't, like, submit to it. The child's back. I just saw her. They're back from walking the dog. If you don't submit to it, you want a divorce from capitalism. The idea can feel so, like, freeing, and, like, oh, like, I would just be, like, can you imagine not being married to, like, you know, when you're, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just such a toxic relationship, and I feel like our generation is really trying to, like, divorce the fuck out of, like, what we have going on, because we really feel like we are, like, married, or we're, like, so, yeah, I don't want to go back to school, but I kind of feel like I have to, because otherwise I'm gonna have to, like, I don't know. The other option is I can just become a YouTuber. So I think I'm just, here's my current plan, Penny. Do you want to listen? You want to know what I'm going to do? Okay, so I'm going to maybe re-enroll in classes this semester back at UArts, changing my major if they let me, but who knows? I might have to do, like, an application and shit, and, like, I don't want to do all that. And then we'll start making YouTube videos. We'll start our tarot journey. Our tarot journey? No, I mean, we've already started that journey, but we're going to start giving people tarot readings. I'll give you a tarot reading, Penny, if you want. You have to consent. Oh, what? You don't have to, but, like, you know, like, tell me if you want it or not. But, anyways. Oh, sorry, my leg's really itchy. I bet it looks like I'm, like, masturbating right now. Oh my god, Penny's like, why are you doing this right now? No, I'm not. I'm scratching. But she's still like, you shouldn't be scratching your psoriasis, girl. Sorry, okay. So yeah, those are my thoughts on being married to capitalism. I don't want to do it. Oh, I know that these also aren't, like, new thoughts. I mean, what? Like, I'm not the first person to think this. I know that. I'm not trying to say that I am, but this is just me speaking about my thoughts and about college and stuff. And if you want to listen, you know, you can. So, I don't know, maybe, my arms look crazy. So, I don't know, maybe you should just tell me, what do you think I should do with my life? I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how things go. I just feel like YouTube is, like, why not? Like, if people can monetize these videos that they make, like, why not? Like, for real, like, it's literally, I just so easily, I can just sit here and talk in front of the camera and upload it. People don't have to watch it, but you never know. People may watch it. I don't know if anybody wants to hear me talk. And if they don't want to listen to me talk, they literally don't have to. You literally just don't have to watch the video if you don't want to hear me talk. Okay? Because sometimes I feel like I talk too much. And here I keep going. I keep talking. Sometimes I do feel like I talk too much. And when I go on tangents, yes, I can talk a lot. However, I don't like being the center of attention. I don't like being, like, I don't like taking up a lot of space. Because I kind of like to stay, like, out of it. And that's just such like, that's literally, like, or it's not, like, Capricorn. Like, I'm, like, y'all can have this fucking spotlight. Like, I really don't fucking care. Like, I don't want a lot of, like, attention and, like, fame and, I mean, not fame, but, like, that is kind of something that I thought about with YouTube. Like, I don't want to be an influencer. I mean, like, I guess, like, in a way, yeah. Like, I would like to, like, influence people positively and, like, help people. But I really don't want to submit to, like, the, like, influencer, like, world. Like, that is not something that I would like to really join. But if that's what I have to do to make money, to not be like doing that at like a 9-to-5 job, then